All right, everyone, Colin and I are back at it again, and we are about to do the Teton Crest Trail. Absolutely jacked about it. It's been a very long logistical challenge just to get started this morning, since this trek is a point-to-point hike, and we had some delays this morning. Then we had to do a 1.5 mile walk just to get back to the highway, to hitchhike for another 10-20 minutes. Ultimately, some extremely nice people picked us up. Shout out to Ringo and Martha from the greater LA area that have been doing, I think, what'd they say, 2 weeks out here?
2 weeks of hiking every day.
They're getting after it every day. Love that. They were just amazing people, the sweetest, kindest people. So super grateful for them. Not only did they save us basically $150 from a Uber ride that didn't seem to even be happening, but just ultimately saved us a little extra time that we thought we were going to be killing from standing there waiting to hitchhike for another 30 minutes or so. So this is going to be a long day. We got to do 13 miles, a little more than 13 miles it is, and it's
11:30, 11:40,
11:45 maybe.
So we got a little bit of a day ahead of us.
We gotta hoof it here, and not only that, but we also have to start a little further than we traditionally would, because the road to the Death Canyon trailhead is closed, and so we're having to tack on a little bit of additional trail before we get into the heart of the backcountry here. So
just a little bit more fun.
Yeah, it's just a jam-packed day of backpacking logistics at this point, but the fall colors look unbelievable right now, and it is a absolutely perfect day. So jacked to get out there now. I'm finally here to do it, and yeah, it's been on the list for probably 5+ years at this point. So anyways, we're gonna get out of here. So
went through and looked at all the different things and said, all right, how many servings and how many grams of protein per serving? I found the one that had the most. This is, let's see, 90 to 108 grams of protein.
in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a pretty good size of a chunk of protein to bring with me up here.
Damn, this water's cold.
you not have a long sleeve on?
Of course not.
Why? Because you hate yourself?
Dog, I don't like to hike in long clothes, like, unless I, like, need to. Because I'm gonna be hot, like, quick.
This doesn't feel much lighter than yesterday.
No. But doesn't necessarily feel bad. Oh, all right. Getting to the conclusion of day 2 here. Today's Friday, October 4th. think it's, what is it, 6:30?
6:45.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah, 6:45. Sunset's beautiful right now, as you can see behind us, and out to the west. It's fantastic as well. But today was incredible. We came up from the kind of higher portion of the Death Canyon.
Death Canyon camp area. And
Yeah,
then up
Death-
onto Death
Shelf.
Shelf.
Yeah, which was outstanding. Saw a adolescent bull moose pretty early, probably within the first mile, right at the back of the canyon there. Climbed up to Fox Pass, went and checked out some the overhang and some of the other landscape looking south, kind of out of the Tetons area. And just upon doing that, we started seeing a bunch of animals back down in the canyon. And so we're not certain whether we saw grizz or black bear, or excuse me, yeah, grizz or black bear. We're not certain. It looked like grizz from where we were size-wise, so that's kind of where we're leaning. We'll see once I get to editing this. But yeah, a sow, 2 cubs,
An angry moose.
and angry bull moose and mom. That we kind of came to the conclusion that those moose, that family of moose, lives at the back of that canyon, and pretty much anyone or anything in there it's kind of mad at. The moose were basically running the bears up the hill, and I mean they covered a good half mile or more very, very quickly. And so that was just awesome getting to experience that and watch it from afar. Very curious to see what it looks like, once the final product is put together and I can zoom in on it and stuff. So anyways, that was just exciting. But
Place your votes in the comments.
yeah,
Black bear or
yeah,
grizz?
seriously, what was that? We're not entirely sure, but I'm sure I'll be able to tell back home. But okay, so here's what happened. We obviously did not see any bears on the second day. We did, however, see the black bear on the first day, which was quite some ways away from us. It was hard for us to see in real life, just like it was in the video. That was the black bear. And on the second day, in the morning of that day, couldn't have been more than about 10 minutes in, by the time we got to the back of the Death Canyon Creek valley or canyon there, we then saw the adolescent bull moose on its own, simply just kind of hanging out and eating. Didn't really think too much of it. By the time we had gotten to the top of the pass, we were about 1,000 feet above these animals. And really what kind of led us astray, if you will, on where we, perceptually went wrong with what we thought we were seeing was it was just really odd for there to, of course, be 2 different families of moose and 6 moose in total in one kind of small area. And so that's really what kind of led us down the path of thinking we were looking at bears. And then mostly speaking, we thought we were seeing grizzlies because of the size. But really what had happened was the 2 moose that were furthest away, they were coming back up that valley or canyon to get back to their adolescent bull moose, their calf. And the other family of moose was in the area, and they were not happy about that at all, as they were, making sure to run off this other family up the hillside there and completely out of the area. And they were pretty aggressive about it. I mean, they were covering quite a large amount of ground in a very quick time period. So they clearly were picking up their scent and felt the need to be aggressive about getting that other cow and her calves up and out of there. So that's what happened. We didn't see any other bears on day 2, even though we were pretty sure and steadfast that we had seen bears. But given the elevation difference in where we were at, and just looking down on them, it was really quite difficult to tell what exactly we were seeing. But that's what happened. Anyways, back to the video. Man, and then the shelf was just absolutely spectacular. Just walking along that canyon wall there, and then seeing the Tetons just in front of you the whole time was just something else.
One of the better views I think I've ever had.
Yeah,
Backpack.
for sure. Just, and then to have it right in front of you like that, to be able to just walk, probably about 3 miles or so from the beginning of it to the end.
It's just always
just
right
boom,
there.
right in your face on a bluebird day, or at least it was a bluebird day.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more cloudy out here on the west side, and some clouds that kind of pass through, but all in all, the day was phenomenal. We really couldn't have asked for anything else today. And yeah, just the shelf was amazing. Then we dropped down to Alaska Basin, hung out at the first lake there for a second, kind of made our way up the creek here a little bit, kind of a little away from the other lakes actually, but following the creek drainage. Got an amazing campsite down there with an excellent view looking out to the west. And then now we're just even further up the basin to cook some food and just hang out up here.
Had to go downwind.
Yeah.
And downwind happened to be up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. So anyways, yeah, just a great day. Went down and fished the primary lake there. Mm-hmm. Colin did pretty solid. He got 5. The amateur and myself had about 5 misses, 5 missed opportunities. So there's definitely fish in that bottom lake there. We're pretty sure there's not fish in any of these other lakes up here.
No, there's not.
We checked out the next biggest lake, and it really doesn't look like there's anything in there. They're obviously very clear, so you can see right down to the bottom. And it just, all the other small ponds, tarns, etc., just don't look like there's anything in there. But that one lake at the bottom there, kind of on the east end of it, seemed to have a lot of fish around there.
Pretty healthy population of brook trout that seem to be, self-sustaining, spawning, like doing their thing. And
yep. A couple pretty good-sized fish in there too.
Yeah.
Like for being up at almost 10,000 feet. I mean, mostly speaking, I would say they were kind of the average alpine fish size. But you had one that was, maybe about 10 inches, maybe a little more, a little less.
I definitely saw a few.
But yeah, there were a few that we could see that
the
were
12 to 14 range that
for sure.
were smarter than all the other fish, which is how they got to the 12 to 14 range.
Right. So yeah, today's just been outstanding. I don't honestly think we could ask for anything else today.
No, we got spoiled, and I think we're going to get some winds overnight for it, but it was all worth it.
It's been pretty windy this last few hours while fishing, and kind of ever since getting to camp, basically, once we got here in the afternoon.
About 2 o'clock.
We really took our time the entire morning today. We were lackadaisical about our hike over here. Yeah, I think, like you said, we didn't get here until 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. 7.5 miles, 1,500 feet up, all of which you pretty much gained coming out of the canyon up to Fox Pass. And that is one thing I would say, though, real quick, in hindsight of reflecting on how we've scheduled this. We were supposed to camp on the shelf, but having the experience that we did, I would do it the way that we did do it. So camping about 3/4 to 90% of the way to the back of Death Canyon before you start climbing to Fox Pass is a really nice set of campsites. There's
tons of camping.
There's got to be 10 of them or so just in a row, kind of from the horse camp up the canyon. There's just a ton of good camping there. And by doing that, then you don't have to make the long last climb. You get the creek water down at the bottom, because the water up top on the shelf isn't as abundant, isn't as flowing as it is down at the bottom.
There were 4 across the whole shelf, so about 3 miles with 4 opportunities, and all of them are trickling flows, so you're going to be spending some time getting water.
Now, I think earlier in the year, you're going to have plenty of water up there. If you're there in July, August. There's going to be water on the shelf, no doubt about it. But that means that, of course, the other creeks down in the bottom are flowing that much more. And they were just really nice campsites. And then you didn't have to do, you know, a 13 or 14 mile day like we would have had to. So we did 11 miles the first day, and it was just perfect. And then to be able to see the moose in the morning, get up top and see all the animals moving around again, like that, just, you have the opportunity to get that lucky. And then the next day on the shelf, you're still going to get the shelf views. I would say sunrise on the shelf is probably spectacular, I can only imagine. But all in all, I would still do it the way we did it. So, thrilled with how today went. Tomorrow we've got a nice, probably 10 to 12 mile day. I don't even recall how far we have to go. Probably going to do a little day skirt somewhere on this ridge up here. Try to get to some extra view that we wouldn't see organically from the trek. We got to make it to North Cascade Camp Zone, I believe is what it's called. But yeah, just really looking forward to it. I'm sure tomorrow is going to be amazing. We'll probably be up a little bit earlier than we were today, moving real early in the morning to kind of make the most of the day. But yeah, all in all, just an amazing day. So I think that's all we got. Did I miss anything?
I don't got anything else.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited for a meal pack.
Yeah. Excited to eat for sure. And excited to see what tomorrow brings too, though. It's been 10 out of 10 these first 2 days. So very curious to see what the rest of this trail has in store for us. So we'll see you tomorrow.
.622.
Yeah.
Almost a half hour behind. Let's get moving.
Hey, bear. Beautiful morning. Oh, there's a bear down there.
Absolutely bonkers.
What a campsite. Damn, I missed the pink and purple out there just a little
I
bit.
was peeking over at it a little bit.
Gonna be a windy morning. These walls on this side of the canyon are awesome. What a place.
Watch over there offering me starburst.
What a place. Dude, look back here.
I know.
Holy shit. Wow. What a view. This is an unbelievable day. Like it can't, like how do you beat this?
You don't? The answer is you don't.
Whoa. Whoa.